issue. The issue is it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who don't really want it.
Rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors. Yeah, I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
When it comes to Hollywood's darkest secrets, few names have generated more speculation recently than Marjorie Harvey, Steve Harvey, and Sean Diddy Combs. And wow, if you thought the wild rumors surrounding Diddy's notorious parties were insane, buckle up, because Marjorie's latest confession has blown the lid off everything we thought we knew. We're not just talking about Diddy's wild lifestyle or his shocking arrest, nope. This time, Steve Harvey, the TV personality and king of morning show laughs, has been dragged right into the heart of it. If you're ready for a deep dive into the underbelly of Hollywood's elite, you're in the right place. But here's the real question. Could this be the final straw that brings Steve Harvey's empire crumbling down? Let's get into it.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
It all started with Diddy's shocking arrest, something that rocked the entertainment world. On September 16th, 2024, federal agents arrested Diddy in a Manhattan hotel lobby, dragging him out in handcuffs. To charges: racketeering conspiracy, forced human activity, and transporting people for immoral purpose, among others. So this wasn't some minor incident. The indictment was sealed, which only added to the mystery. When it was unsealed, the allegations laid out against him were truly staggering crimes that span decades, including the use of his powerful influence in the music industry to manipulate and exploit people. While Diddy was now facing serious legal trouble, it was Marjorie Harvey's name that began to surface in the most unexpected ways.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact
Marjorie, once just seen as the glamorous wife of Steve Harvey, had kept quiet for years, living the life of luxury, appearing at red carpets, and enjoying the perks of being part of Steve's carefully curated public image of family-friendly fun and Christianity. But now her silence has broken, and what she's revealed is enough to shake up Hollywood's elite in a way no one saw coming. Turns out, Steve wasn't just some innocent bystander in all of this, he was in on it, big time.
Stand-up comedian, entertainer, television host, family man. But most importantly, I happen to be a man of faith.
So let's take it back for a moment. Steve Harvey, who's built a reputation as the family man of daytime television, has always seemed like the perfect package: successful, funny, to a father figure for millions of viewers. But according to Marjorie, behind closed doors, things were far more twisted. For years, rumors have swirled about Diddy's legendary parties, but what the public didn't know was that Steve Harvey was a regular guest at these gatherings. And it wasn't just as a casual attendee. Oh no, it's way more sinister than that.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
Marjorie claims that not only was Steve aware of Diddy's infamous gatherings, but he was an active participant, often renting her out for Diddy's wild events, all while he stood by and filmed the proceedings. Can you believe it? Steve Harvey, the man who lectures people on family values and faith, was allegedly complicit in this entire operation. And it's not just a vague accusation. Marjorie insists that Steve was not only present but also used these parties as an opportunity to gather dirt on other celebrities. Yeah, that's right. While most people were busy getting caught up in Diddy's chaotic scenes, Steve was in the background, observing and collecting footage, all while maintaining his public image as the wholesome TV host.
Replete with very, very serious and salacious allegations, including allegations that Combs had cameras throughout his homes.
This isn't just some tabloid gossip, either. It's all coming out as part of the larger investigation that's been launched by the FBI. I remember those Homeland Security raids on Diddy's Los Angeles and Miami properties. Well, it turns out Steve Harvey's involvement wasn't just a passive +1 situation. Marjorie is now cooperating with authorities, providing detailed accounts of the horrific things that went down at these parties where Steve would play the role of the observer. According to her, Steve encouraged her to participate while filming everything that went on with the intent of blackmailing the high-profile guests who were also in attendance. It's absolutely mind-blowing to think that a man who preaches love and respect could have been involved in something so dark and twisted.
The evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named for.
So how did all of this stay hidden for so long? Well, Marjorie claims that she was blackmailed into silence by both Diddy and Steve. For years, she lived under constant fear that her husband would expose her if she ever spoke out. It's easy to see why she stayed quiet for so long. After all, the power these men wielded, both in the entertainment industry and behind the scenes, was immense. Diddy's reach into Hollywood's inner circle was well known. But the idea that Steve Harvey was quietly collecting blackmail material on some of the most powerful figures in the industry is a whole other level of disturbing.
I saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy. She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
But Marjorie's breaking point came with Diddy's arrest. With his empire now crumbling and the FBI's spotlight firmly on the dark side of his empire, Marjorie decided it was finally time to speak up. And boy, did she spill the tea. In her confession, she details how Steve would often encourage her to attend Diddy's wild gatherings, where he would watch from the sidelines, capturing everything on hidden cameras. According to Marjorie, this footage was meant to serve as leverage, insurance that no one would ever cross Steve in Hollywood, or worse, that he could use it to climb even higher up the ladder of success.
My wife, she got up with me. She was the best.
Think about it, Steve Harvey, the man who has $1 million smile plastered across television screens every morning, may have been secretly using Diddy's notorious parties to gather dirt on Hollywood's most elite figures. So the kind of plot twist no one saw coming, and yet here we are. And now Marjorie's plea is clear. She wants the authorities to arrest Steve and hold him accountable for his role in these heinous acts. Her story is more than just a scandal, it's a cry for justice. And she's ready to take Steve down with her if that's what it takes. The timing couldn't be worse for Steve either. Just when he thought he could ride out the wave of celebrity rumors and continue with his talk shows and best-selling books, everything he's worked for is about to come crashing down. Marjorie's revelations have opened a Pandora's box of allegations, and there's no telling what else might come to light as the investigation continues. The FBI is reportedly looking into Steve's connection with these parties, and it's possible that charges could follow. Marjorie's cooperation with the authorities could be the key to unmasking what really went down, and she's not holding anything back.
So I don't give them no energy. I give haters no energy. Steve ain't this, he think he this. You don't even know me.
So what's most shocking, though, is how well Steve managed to hide all of this over the years. Despite rumors floating around about his connections to Diddy's parties, the general public never suspected that he was involved in anything more than casual celebrity smoozing. But now, with Marjorie's explosive claims, it's becoming clear that Steve Harvey's carefully crafted image as a family man was nothing more than a facade. All those years of preaching about faith and family values, just to cover up for his real activities behind the scenes. If even a fraction of what Marjorie is saying is true, Steve's reputation is done for.
Please, stop. Stop ignoring the red flags in your relationship and thinking you can change a man.
So let's not forget the impact this could have on the entertainment industry as a whole. With Steve Harvey potentially facing serious consequences and Diddy already in the spotlight for his criminal activities, Hollywood is bracing itself for a major reckoning. Other celebrities who attended these parties are no doubt sweating right now, wondering if their names will be dragged into the investigation as well. So the fallout from this could be massive, affecting not just Steve and Diddy, but also anyone connected to their inner circles.
Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
As Marjorie's allegations continue to surface, the world is left wondering how many more secrets are yet to be revealed. There, with Steve Harvey's empire hanging in the balance, it's only a matter of time before the full scope of his involvement comes to light. Could this be the beginning of the end for the man who once ruled daytime television with his charm and wit? Or will he somehow manage to escape the fallout, just as he's done with previous scandals? So one thing's for sure, Marjorie isn't going down quietly, and her demands for justice might just be what brings down one of Hollywood's biggest names.
The government is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being. They have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
As we dig deeper into these revelations, one thing becomes clear. This isn't just about Marjorie, Steve, and Diddy. It's about a larger pattern of abuse and manipulation that's been allowed to flourish in the shadows for far too long. The entertainment industry, for all its glitz and glamour, has some seriously dark corners, and with the FBI now involved, we may finally start seeing the cracks in that glittering surface.
You know, I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy been and everything we've seen him do over the decades? Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail.
At this point, the only question that remains is how far this will go. Will Steve Harvey face the same fate as Diddy, brought down by the weight of these shocking allegations? Or will his fame, power, and influence allow him to walk away unscathed once again? With Marjorie now working with the authorities, it seems unlikely that Steve will be able to escape the consequences this time, but only time will tell.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
And this, our friends, is just the beginning of the story. With Marjorie spilling all the tea and the authorities closing in, Hollywood is holding its breath, waiting to see who else might get caught in this web of lies, deceit, and betrayal. Will Steve's carefully constructed image survive the storm? Or is his empire about to crumble under the weight of his own dark secrets?
Let's first say that you shouldn't feel guilty for anything.
And just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, let's dive even deeper into Marjorie Harvey's role in this twisted tale. At first glance, you might feel a sense of sympathy for Marjorie trapped in a toxic relationship with a powerful man like Steve Harvey, afraid to speak out because of the blackmail she endured. But hold on a second, as we peel back more layers of this story, her involvement in these scandalous activities isn't as black and white as it first seemed. It's time to take a closer look at Marjorie's past and ask, was she really just a victim, or could there be something more complicated at play here?
Had clients describe NBC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
Before becoming Mrs. Steve Harvey, Marjorie wasn't just mingling with Hollywood's power players. Her life was entangled with notorious figures in the criminal world, and those connections are crucial to understanding her role in the current scandal. You see, long before she married Steve, Marjorie was already living a life surrounded by wealth and luxury, albeit one funded through much more nefarious means. Her first husband, Jim Townsend, was a major player in a well-known criminal organization. Townsend wasn't just any low-level hustler. He was convicted of attempting to purchase a massive amount of illicit substances, and his activities were a key part of a broader network that trafficked illegal goods across state lines.
That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway, and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
Townsend's arrest in the 1990s didn't just make headlines. Because of the scale of the operation he was running, it was also a turning point for Marjorie. At the time, rumors swirled that Marjorie herself was implicated in his dealings, with some sources even suggesting that she was an active participant in his operation. The FBI allegedly had their eyes on her too, suspecting that she knew much more than she was letting on. But when Townsend took the fall and ended up serving 26 years behind bars, Marjorie managed to avoid legal trouble, escaping any formal charges. But that didn't mean she left the criminal world behind. After divorcing Townsend less than 5 years into his sentence, she went on to marry Donald Woods, another figure with a history of illicit activity. Woods, like Townsend, had connections to criminal enterprises and was reportedly involved in smuggling. It seemed Marjorie had to type powerful men with access to wealth, no matter how they got it. While the details of Woods' legal troubles have remained more obscure than Townsend's, it's clear that Marjorie didn't stray far from the world of crime even after her first husband's downfall.
But what would you say? What's been the key to our success?
The fact that you respect me and I respect you.
Now fast forward to her life with Steve Harvey. On the surface, Marjorie has appeared to reinvent herself, distancing herself from her past and basking in the spotlight of her husband's fame and fortune. But if the recent revelations are to be believed, Marjorie's criminal connections never truly disappeared, they just evolved. As Diddy's arrest continues to send shockwaves through the entertainment industry, Marjorie's role is becoming increasingly scrutinized. Her past, once something she worked so hard to keep hidden, is now being re-examined as investigators dig deeper into the powerful social circles connected to Diddy's notorious parties.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So I love my man, but what you mean, but?
Speaking of Diddy, the music mogul's recent arrest has been nothing short of explosive. After months of allegations, including lawsuits from his former girlfriend Cassie, Ventura, and others, things came to a head when Diddy was arrested in Manhattan on September 16, 2024. The charges against him are staggering racketeering conspiracy, forced participation, and more accusations that span decades of abuse. This isn't just a case of a celebrity facing scandalous rumors. This is a full-blown federal investigation that has unearthed years of criminal behavior, with multiple victims coming forward to testify about what went on behind the scenes of Diddy's lifestyle empire.
Special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
Southern District of New York, known for taking down powerful figures, has made it clear that Diddy's arrest is just the beginning. And the indictment reveals a complex operation, with Diddy allegedly using his influence and wealth to manipulate vulnerable individuals, trapping them in a web of control. But what's even more shocking are the allegations of hidden surveillance at his properties. Diddy, according to several lawsuits, had cameras installed in every room of his homes, recording high-profile guests without their consensos. And guess who's allegedly caught on some of these tapes? That's right, Steve Harvey, Marjorie Harvey, and other well-known figures in the entertainment world.
Controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
Marjorie, for her part, has now started cooperating with investigators, but her motives are still unclear, while she's painted herself as someone who was manipulated and coerced by. Steve and Diddy, her long-standing connections to men involved in criminal activity suggests she may have known exactly what was going on. So timing of her revelations coinciding with Diddy's arrest and the fallout from the lawsuits is raising eyebrows. So Marjorie's simply trying to save herself now that the walls are closing in? Or was she more involved in Diddy's operations than she's willing to admit?
All right, I gotta take some time to address this here.
And what's even more interesting is the role Marjorie is said to have played in helping Steve navigate these murky waters. Steve Harvey has spent decades cultivating his image as the ultimate family man, but Marjorie's influence behind the scenes may have been pivotal in helping him maintain that facade while participating in Diddy's gatherings. According to insiders, Marjorie was the one who introduced Steve to certain social circles, using her connections from her previous marriages to bring Steve into the fold. These same sources claim that Marjorie was far from the victim she's portraying herself, as now instead, she was an active participant using her influence to secure her place in Hollywood's elite. But let's talk about the evidence piling up in Diddy's case, because it's crucial to understanding just how deep this scandal goes. One of the most damning pieces of evidence is the testimony from Rodney Lorod Jones, a former producer who worked closely with Diddy. Jones has filed his own lawsuit claiming that Diddy not only pressured him into inappropriate situations, but also involved him in illegal activities at his homes.
That this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
His lawsuit describes in detail how Diddy would host these private gatherings, where high-profile guests were engaged in activities they never wanted publicized. Jones alleges that Diddy recorded everything, using the footage as leverage to control the powerful individuals who attended.
Of course, there's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers.
And if Jones is to be believed, Marjorie Harvey was fully aware of these recordings. In fact, Jones has claimed that Marjorie was not just a passive bystander, she was often in the room when these events went down, knowing that Diddy was collecting dirt on everyone who participated. If this is true, then Marjorie's claim that she was coerced into silence begins to fall apart. Instead, it looks like she may have been part of the inner workings of Diddy's operation, helping to ensure that the right people stayed quiet while benefiting from the power and connections that came with it.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
The fallout from all of this is going to be massive. Diddy's arrest is just the tip of the iceberg, and as more names come to light, Hollywood's biggest stars are bracing themselves for the worst. But Marjorie Harvey's involvement raises a crucial question. How deep was she really involved in these schemes? While she's trying to distance herself from Steve and Diddy now, her past relationships and her history of navigating the criminal world suggest that she may not be as innocent as she claims.
Well, either way, if you gotta run to a private island because your evil doings are doing so much and they storming your house, it's one of these.
As the trial looms, more details are expected to emerge, and all eyes will be on Marjorie and Steve Harvey. With Diddy facing potentially decades behind bars, the focus will shift to those who are complicit in his actions, and Marjorie's name is right at the top of that list. Whether she's working with the FBI to protect herself or genuinely seeking justice, her role in this scandal is far from clear. What's undeniable is that Marjorie's carefully crafted image is starting to crack. Her criminal past, once swept under the rug, is now coming back to haunt her, and the question remains, how much longer can she maintain the story of being a victim when there's so much evidence suggesting otherwise? As the trial unfolds, we're likely to see more high-profile figures dragged into this mess, and Marjorie may find herself in a position where she has no choice but to come clean. For now, Marjorie's cooperation with authorities is keeping her out of the hot seat, but the investigation is far from over. The tapes, the testimony, and the growing list of. So lawsuits are painting a picture picture of a world where power and wealth shielded some of the most despicable behavior imaginable. And Marjorie, despite her claims of victimhood, may find that her past connections and actions are enough to bring her down along with the rest of them.
Man, Marjorie, the thing that Marjorie's not telling you
Telling
all.
everybody's
Yes.
business. Okay, now don't let me start telling Steve's business.
As Hollywood watches this scandal unfold, the real question is, who's next? With Diddy's arrest and Marjorie's revelations, the entertainment industry is bracing for a reckoning unlike anything it's seen before. And with each new piece of evidence, the carefully constructed images of some of the world's biggest stars are beginning to crumble. So it's only a matter of time before the full extent of this web of lies, deceit, and manipulation is exposed, and Marjorie Harvey will have to face the consequences of her actions, whether she likes it or not. Now that we've uncovered all these shocking details, it's hard not to wonder, is Marjorie Harvey truly a victim, or has she been playing a much deeper game all along? And with Steve Harvey's entire image on the line, do you think he'll manage to escape unscathed? Or is his empire about to fall? Let us know what you think in the comments. See you next time.